Hey, everybody, and welcome to We Watch TV. It is the podcast about the TV that we watch. I am Daniel, and you have found yourself in yet another We Watch TV Supercut. If you're new to the program and you're unfamiliar with a supercut, it's when we take bits and pieces from various different podcast episodes that talk about the same show and put them all together into one super episode all about that show. And this week's supercut is all about And Just Like That Season 3. And we started our conversation about And Just Like That Season 3 in episode 106, Resting Nice Face.
Well, you know what's far, miles from the best thing going?
And just like that.
We're back for another season. Season 3! Whew. This is one of those shows that's like, and I love how you're into this. You're in this with me. We're in this together. No one's leaving this. So, it's one of those shows that I'm going to watch it. I'm going to hate it. And then I'm going to be like, I'll see you next week.
But this season 3, episode 1 premiere in particular,
I'm traumatized.
Held me hostage.
Yes.
I felt like the guy from A Clockwork Orange with his eyeballs pinned open, having to watch, not able to look away, even though I wanted to so very badly.
I feel victimized by this opener. First off, let's just get to it was all over the place.
All over the place.
Like Carrie running around in her huge apartment.
You know how sometimes
when
in a show where you've got multiple storylines going on and an episode is showing you those multiple storylines, but they
sometimes you don't.
But they weave together in ways, or there's mirrors and there's analogies, all that stuff is going on. This was just like, here's what this person's doing, and it has nothing to do with what this person's doing. And here's Aiden in his truck out in his out in Virginia, cranking it out.
Oh gosh, that was traumatizing. But you know what? At least people are finally on my level with Aiden. It's taken 20-some years. Everybody always put this man on a pedestal, and I thought, and even when I go back, I noticed Aiden is a walking red flag, and he always has been. Did he deserve for him to be cheated on? No, but people are like, oh, he didn't become a red flag. For some of the people that come around to it, they're like, he didn't become a red flag until they got back together after Carrie cheated. Nuh-uh. Even OG Aiden was like, oh, you can't smoke anymore, and was like already trying to change everything about Carrie to fit his mold. I think he just was attracted to her, and he was just trying to like make him into something she wasn't. The entire time Aiden has been a red flag. Now I will go ahead and give you Aiden lovers this, because I think some people are like, this was not the Aiden I remember. They have taken those red flags and made him the most cringeworthy, awful character. This cannot be her endgame. First off, we ended season 2 with that stupid let's wait 5 years crap.
Bring back Burger.
Honestly.
Bring back Burger.
I hated Burger and the way he broke up with her, but I did feel like he was Carrie's like opposite, like her counterpart. They were very much alike in their mannerisms, the way they behaved, the way they acted. And at this point, I would rather Burger give her 5,000 Post-it notes and have to watch Aiden in a vehicle doing what he did.
First off, he licked his hand.
It was horrible. I hated it. Make it stop. So they're not obviously doing this. No contact for 5 years should be no contact. First off, they're acting like Carrie is like in her 90s. She's like in her 50s? She's not even that old. She still could live a vibrant life. And I don't know. And I think she just is like scared to death to lose Aiden. I think she's honestly still dealing with the trauma of Biggs passing, and that she as this familiarity and comfort with Aiden and is just trying to make that her happy ending desperately, because just Carrie is coming off not great either. And so they're sending each other postcards. He's sending her ones of like places and she's sending them back with hearts, but they're not supposed to talk, I guess, unless it's on Aiden on his terms, drunk in a field in Virginia. And then he like, what does he do? He like
cranking it.
He like accidentally hits the horn. He's like, oh, I think I just pooped my pants a little bit. And then he's wanting to continue to do, the phone naughtiness.
Phone sex. You just say phone sex. We're adults. We're all adults here. It's phone sex. They're having phone sex.
Well,
it's disgusting. It's gross. Usually in any kind of media, when you're seeing people do phone sex, you like, oh, they're starting to do the phone sex. And then they cut away to something else. And they just showed us the whole thing.
And with all the scenes they had in this episode, that they could have switched to, why did we have to witness that? Carrie, though, her cat interrupted her. shoe. She still has her kitten. So Carrie
Thank God
had to pretend.
for that cat.
It was awful. But then Carrie later calls him back in the episode, and he's like, oh, I can't talk right now. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, is he in bed with a woman? And then it was made even worse because he's in bed with one of his goblin, almost adult-aged, stupid kids. I'm like, who is sleeping with their parent at this age?
Explains why he has to go out to his truck in the middle of the night to crank one out.
Stop saying that! It was awful. It was awful. And mind you, Daniel, you're one of the people that started tuning in and got locked into this ride with me because you wanted to see the return of Aiden. You've since come around to me that Aiden is a walking red flag, correct?
Yes.
And always has been?
Yes.
I'm not saying this doesn't mean that I thought Big was perfect either.
Did anything else happen in this episode?
Well, Carrie wore an absolutely horrendous hat.
Wait. It's funny because it's bigger than a regular hat.
It was. Sex and the City was always known for their wild fashion, and now I think they're really leaning into that, but it's coming up. But they didn't have to try in the original series. It just fit. This is called, we're trying really hard, because I thought that Lisa, Charlotte's friend, her big balls necklace had basically beach balls on her neck. I don't know what it was. I thought that was going to be the worst fashion, and then Carrie has this huge bonnet. Then we've gotten rid of the character of Che, which honestly I think it was Miranda that made Che an awful character, because Miranda was so terrible in all of Miranda's actions.
Did Che get a send-off last season? I don't remember. Or is it just
And just like that, I don't remember either.
Okay, fair. Okay, fine.
But so we've gotten rid of Che, and now Rosie O'Donnell shows up in a lesbian bar, not as Rosie O'Donnell, as Sister Mary, a nun. But Miranda doesn't know that Mary is a nun.
My baby's a virgin.
Is a virgin, like the Virgin Mary. And Miranda thinks that she's being hit on by Brady's old babysitter. I'm like, Miranda, you can't pull someone that hot, please. So Miranda's she's like, sure.
Was she hot? I didn't even notice.
And they wake up in bed, and Sister Mary is like, oh, that was my first time. And Miranda's like, oh, first time with a woman? And she's like, no, first time in general. I'm a nun. What? And then
I feel like you're breaking some nun rules.
We have some other shenanigans with texting, and Rosie's character is like, meet me at Times Square. I'm gonna
she's hitting up all of the New York City
which I
tourist
love Wicked.
traps.
And I knew what was about to come. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, is she going to do this? And then they have to ruin one of the most beautiful songs from Wicked. And Miranda's just like, I'm not really in a relationship place. And Mary's like, no, you've helped me. You've changed me. And then she's like, because I knew you, I have been changed for good. And the whole Wicked outfit with the fun of Times Square. And I guess they even had Miranda come out and say, I'm a lesbian now, which is fine, but why can't Miranda be bi? I'm not saying Miranda needs to be with a man. I just feel like bisexual representation on TV is just almost non-existent at this point. And there's an episode, I'm going to reference 2 episodes from the original series, where one, Miranda did question her sexuality, and yes, people can change, and went on a date with a woman, didn't work out, she said she liked men, whatever. I'm not saying she can't change. She's obviously open to change. I always thought that Miranda's connection with Che was more of a person type connection. And now Miranda's like, oh, I'm just a full lesbian now. Now, the other episode that I'm going to reference on Sex and the City, I actually rewatched this one fairly recently. It had, I don't know, the guy, Rachel's assistant, Tag, that actor, that's all I ever think of him as.
I remember. Yeah, I remember that episode.
He was a bisexual guy that Carrie went out with, and Carrie was so weird about it. First you think she's going to be chill, and it just, watching back that episode, it's really problematic. Maybe it's just problematic from the lens of, 2025. And this would have been the perfect opportunity for Sex in the City and Just Like That, a show that tries to be, quote unquote, I hate using this phrase, but woke, that tries to be evolved, to actually be evolved and show some bi representation. And they just didn't. And I'm really disappointed that they're not having Miranda proclaim to be bisexual, because I feel like I don't think there's a lot of representation for bisexuals on TV. And why would you not take an opportunity that would fit in organically to do this? I find it, especially when you have that, which a lot of fans have pointed out, how ick and problematic that episode was, where Carrie dated the bi man and how her reactions to it.
Just like everything else with this show, they miss opportunity left and right, and it all feels forced.
When they were in the lesbian bar, though, enter Chapel Roan.
Oh, yeah, of course, of course they're playing Chapel Roan. Why wouldn't they? It's like everything in this show just feels so forced.
And all the kids are awful. They're just terrible children, and they're all like. And I feel like Charlotte is a great mom.
Oh,
and
I forgot about her.
Her kids treat her
so
like crap.
Stupid. All Charlotte does this episode is like try and figure out why her dog is being blacklisted in the elite West Side. What I don't even know. Upper East Side elite dog sitting community
the thing
of
about
New York.
Charlotte,
it's like,
though,
oh my god.
Her character is the one that is mostly the same as she was before, but has also grown. And I feel like Charlotte is my favorite on And Just Like That. And then we had. Do you think Michelle Obama's going to show up in this season?
No.
Okay. I don't really have anything else to say other than this show is horrible. I'm going to keep watching it. Ugh.
If I have to watch another phone sex scene involving
Aiden's in 6 episodes, dude.
I'm going to throw up.
I'm sure you'll see him in his tidy whities again.
The tidy whities.
The hand spitting was too much.
I'm so
a bridge too far.
I don't know how I ended up having to watch this episode.
If I have to, you have to.
The last 2 seasons, I did not watch every episode of this show, and I did not know how I ended up roped into this.
If I have to suffer, you have to suffer.
We continued our conversation in episode 108, The Rehearsal, season 1 and 2.
But you know what's even worse?
Ooh.
And it's terrible. And I feel like I'm being tortured every week when I tune in. And Just Like That, season 3. Somehow each episode gets worse. I didn't think it was going to get worse than Aiden in the truck calling Carrie and spitting on his hand, but somehow it's managed to do so. What do you think of it in Just Like That so far?
Oh, it's terrible. It's absolutely awful. This is a torture that I have to watch. We've got 2 or 3 episodes that we've not talked about.
I can't even remember.
Like you said, each one continues to get worse.
Aiden just gets continually more awful. So we had, at one point, we thought that they were going to do something nefarious with Carrie's cat.
Yeah.
Which thankfully that was fine. Oh! what you say? We had Trey from the OC show up as Carrie's gardener randomly, and I'm like, who is that? Like I do every time I watch a show and I recognize somebody. And it was, so we had to do I think you actually did it before I did. You went,
I paused it.
The OC fans are going to know. Or if you ever watched SNL back then, they did a skit where they spoofed that. So Aiden just continues to get more and more awful with every passing breath. Now I feel like I'm actually on Aiden's ex-wife's side. His kid, he wanted his wife wanted Carrie to be her drug mule to get some ADHD meds for her son, and which I thought was weird. Why are you calling Carrie about this? This is odd. Well, then we find out she gives him to Aiden. He just kind of shrugs them off because they're not doing their no contact 5 years. Carrie's down there for a book signing, hoping that Aiden will throw her an olive branch to come see him because he just holds all the cards in this horrible relationship. Just gives me so much ick. So then we have another episode where they kind of address that, and Aiden and Kathy, his ex-wife, are fighting about it, and Aiden's just whole philosophy on that. I'm like, ew, you're not being a good parent either right now, dude. And you know who's a bad parent in another show and then showed up and caught me off guard? So Kathy's boyfriend, Bob, was that his name? That's JJ's birth dad from Outer Banks, who killed JJ. Spoiler alert if you haven't watched Outer Banks yet. And I was like, ah! I had to pause because I was like, oh no! Because that guy scared me so much, but I actually liked Bob on the show.
Yeah, Bob seemed chill.
And then Bob's talking to Carrie about stuff, and Carrie's realizing how little Aiden actually tells her and communicates with her. So then they have this whole blowout at the family dinner thing. I liked how Bob wasn't even playing the game. He was just sitting playing on his phone in the corner, what Carrie should have been done. But she's really trying. I feel like she is really trying to make an effort. She shopped at this horrible store. By the way, they're acting like Virginia is the sticks. It's super annoying the way they're doing that.
Granted, there probably are sticks in Virginia.
I guess. But Target was 30 miles away, which is normal. We have to drive to our Target. So she goes to some shop in town. It looks like, Sister Wives, trad, I don't even know, maybe Little House on the Prairie clothing. Let's throw out what it was. Just some kind of boutique. And he's like, well, you can take the ATV and ride into town. So because she didn't have any of her clothes because like the car got towed. It was a whole big thing.
Well, she didn't go down there with the intent to stay.
Oh, she did, but she didn't at the same time.
I know.
Yeah, like she totally did. Carrie is being just really annoying to me in this because she's acting so weak and letting Aiden have all the cards. But it's a whole other thing. So anyway, Daniel's like, oh, I remember when you came to my house and you and my sister rode to the store. And I said, we didn't ride to the store on an ATV. We rode to the gas station to get some Gatorades on a lawnmower. And what did you say?
Well, because we weren't country rich, we were country poor.
So, like, I did ride an ATV for the first time with your family. I don't think you had a helmet on me. Thanks for that.
No,
I'm
I did
glad we
not.
survived the day. But I was like, no, it was a lawnmower that we rode from your mom's house to the BP to pick up some tasty beverages.
Just want to defend myself for a second. I never rode the lawnmower up to the gas station. I always
Why
walked.
did you say, here, take the
I always
lawnmower with
walked.
Hannah?
I don't know why. But
I don't know why all
Hannah,
this stuff endeared me. That, the outdoor shower that I had to use, the time I had to number 2, you guys were like, your mom said, if you have to number 2, you got to go drive to McDonald's.
Well, that was the summer we didn't have a bathroom.
You guys just a mess around. I see why you need rehearsals in your life. And all these things I just thought was funny. And I think it endeared me. Like the time you took me to I don't think the Mini Mart exists anymore with all the animal heads on the wall.
No, it's a health clinic now.
We could never find. We would always do s'mores out there because I think you guys were trying to do activities to make me feel welcome. And,
Yeah, we didn't do those regularly.
You were trying to make me feel welcome since I had to drive to McDonald's to poop and stuff. So we would do s'mores, and they never had regular graham crackers. Do you remember that?
Yeah, they had cinnamon.
We
graham
always
crackers.
had to eat them with cinnamon graham crackers, and I really did acquire a taste for a nice s'more with a cinnamon graham cracker because I remember the first time, because that's the only time I'd really eat them. The first time I had a regular s'more again, I was like, this isn't the same.
Was that the fire pit that was just an old tire rim?
I don't know.
I think so. Wonder if Mom still has that. I asked her to keep it.
I feel like the last time we were was when we burnt like her old Christmas tree or something, and you guys were like, "Do you want to burn this tree?" And I was like,
You want to burn this Christmas tree?
"It's like Phoebe's world. I like to melt stuff." Anyway, I would take riding on the lawnmower than being with stupid, boring Aiden. So at one point, Aiden, Carrie realized after this blowout, like, oh, maybe Aiden really does need to focus on his family. So they go have a talk, and I was like, oh, Aiden's finally going to apologize. The way the hairs on my neck stood up straight when Carrie apologized to Aiden. And then I was like, okay, well, maybe he'll apologize next and be like, I'm sorry I've been stringing you along, that I've been acting this way. No apologies, because he's the worst. Am I missing any other Aiden-y weirdness?
No, I think that it was quite a bit for the episodes we got.
It really annoyed me, though, when Carrie and Seema this is before they met up with Aiden, and, like, Seema came to Virginia with her, and they were, like, lying in the hotel bed eating KFC, and it was like, I just feel like these are, like, writers with money being like, see how relatable we are that we're eating our KFC in bed. All it made me want was a bucket of chicken.
It looked like two actors that had never actually eaten KFC in their life,
like, we're
trying
so
to
relatable.
eat fried chicken.
We're so funny. We're so country. We're eating our KFC in bed. It was just very cringe. And then Miranda just does not feel like Miranda at all anymore. I don't really care about Charlotte's friend, Lisa.
Harry peed his pants.
Yeah, because he was trying to wear these tight jeans or something. I couldn't get him off in time. I don't really know. I feel like at this point, Charlotte and Harry are comedic relief.
Yeah, they are.
And then Harry's dad shows up in an episode, who most people know from Ozark, but I know as from Frasier because he dated Brandy with the traditional spelling.
We have to talk about the banana for a second.
Oh,
So I want to make for everybody that's on this podcast, we may have even talked about this before, but I just want to make sure it's very clear. You hate bananas.
I hate bananas.
Like you,
I can't stand them. It's a texture thing. They gag me. They're so gross. I just cannot stand them. It's like the one like runner thing that I just am like, ew, I can't do a banana.
So Charlotte or Harry, one of the two, picks up this banana prop on set, and they're like, "This is too far gone. We got to throw it out."
It was perfectly fine banana.
And I looked at you and I said, "You, person who hates bananas, is there anything wrong with that banana?"
No.
I didn't even
Than
see a
being
brown.
banana.
I didn't even see a brown. I didn't even see a brown spot. I don't like. I will eat a banana that is 80% brown spot on the
What
outside.
is that joke that was like a frozen banana?
Would you like? Yeah. Would you like a? Would you like a frozen banana? No, but I would like a regular banana later. So yes.
Oh wow! If you know, you know. Anyway,
Tell me what your percentage of brown banana is before you have to throw it away. In the social media verse, go.
So I don't even know where they're going with it just like that. Like, what is going on? I just feel like if the writers were smart, they would actually write Carrie wanting to, like, you know, do all these things with Aiden is because she still hasn't dealt with her grief and he's somebody that's a comfort to her. Because I'm like, at this point, they're at one, she's not 80. She's what, like in her late 50s, maybe even mid 50s? She's not even that old. They're acting like she's like just some like crippled old elderly woman with like no life to live yet. And it's not a great message. This show really feels like it's written to sound smart, and even with the fashion, they're trying to come off like the old show was known, Sex and City, for the fashion choices, but it was authentic. This just carrying that stupid bonnet, like that one episode, it's not a good show, but I'll keep watching it.
Yeah.
For as long as I'm tortured to do so. We kept pausing the episode, the most recent one, and I was like, we have 30 more minutes of this? What is going on?
It's been pretty miserable, to be honest.
The one compliment I'll have is I like Carrie's refrigerator in her big apartment.
So set design. You like set design on this show. Okay.
Well, I like that particular. You said you like that fridge too.
It's a nice fridge.
I like that particular piece. But there was this whole thing on the plane where she realizes the table she wanted to buy that Aiden gave the thumbs down to when they were texting. She's like, fine, I'm going to buy it. Like, this was after she leaves Virginia. And it's sold out. And that's got to be a metaphor, right? That Carrie waiting around from him is like her life is wasting away.
Yep.
But will it be? Will these writers be smart enough? I'm not sure.
Conversation on And Just Like That Season 3 continued in episode 112, The Summer I Turned Vulcan. Well, there you have it, folks. Speaking of romance, we've also been watching And Just Like That Season 3.
Season 3. And the final season, The National Nightmare, is over. But you know what, guys?
I've never seen a fan base complain more about a show
mad that they canceled
that they
it.
complain about every week.
Listen, did we criticize every episode? Did we absolutely hate it, what they've done with the characters? Yes, but were we going to tune in and still continue to tune in? Also, yes, I'm a little irritated and irked. Now, they're saying that they planned for this to be the last, while other people are saying it was canceled. I think they got canceled. What do you think?
It sure seems like they got canceled.
Anyway, you were pretty good about your comments in the last
Thank
one.
you.
Let's just say that...
What do we got? 2 episodes left this season?
2 episodes to go. I don't know why we had to waste so many on Aiden. Aiden, talk about... Everyone's like, character... No, Aiden was always a walking red flag. They just really drove that home, and it's like he didn't grow up at all. Super glad that Aiden was gone. When Aiden's not in an episode, I enjoy the show so much more. Like, the show where the one episode that he wasn't in was great, and then he came back. As you said on the podcast, Carrie has far more chemistry with the basement dweller, the writer Duncan.
I feel like, though, yes, I agree. Immediate.
I don't think they're in game.
Well, I'm not entirely convinced we see him again.
Yeah, I agree.
think they wrapped that story up this last episode.
I think so, too. And I'm fine with it. Carrie was finally seen by a man for her, not who she, for her talents as a writer. Like, he did not, in my opinion, really even try to flirt with her until, they had established their kind of working relationship, and he knew that, Aiden was out of the picture. And it was very, she kind of, she was in the driver's seat of that. Like, I don't think he would have made a move if she hadn't. But yeah, they did hook up finally, and it was hot. Much better than me having to watch Aiden lick his hand in a car in a field in Virginia. Like, that was an actually, hot scene. But then right after, they had some fun, they were back to talking about, their books that they're writing. And I thought it was really funny that he was like, so you're, important, or, you're Carrie Bradshaw, because he didn't really get, her, she's written a bunch of books. She used to have a column that I'm not going to say she's famous, but she's, well-known within, those ranks.
Certainly in New York City, and certainly in publishing, the publishing scene in New York City. People know who she is,
And I think, Carrie said at one point, one of the reasons why she was even afraid to hook up with him was because it was the first time she had really felt seen. I don't think Carrie's going to end up with anybody. I think that she's going to continue to focus on her true love, her passion of writing. And I think that she finally is almost to a place where she is healed. We didn't really get to see her grieve over the loss of Big very much. Say what you want about that was like the love of her life. And then Aiden stepped back in, and I think if good writers would have written that as she decided to go with Aiden because it was a comfort, it was the second love, you always wonder what if. I think they just stretched it out a little too long. I hope we don't see Aiden again. I'm going to be ticked if we do in these last 2 episodes. But I don't think she's going to, like, why does she need to end up with anybody? Like, life is going to go on, you know, maybe she'll reconnect with that Duncan in the future. That's my prediction from her. I feel like costuming and hairstyling of Sarah Jessica Parker has been very intentional. The moment she and Aiden broke up and they played that Taylor Swift song, Chef's Kiss, the scene, suddenly my girl was dressing hot again. We have the nice, they're not like the old school Carrie curls, but we have her hair nicely done again. She's wearing really pretty outfits again. And there's even one scene where she was going to go to that party with Duncan. And you see she's maybe thinking about wearing like a more traditional suit.
Right.
She changes her mind and puts on, you know, an outfit that's Carrie. That's her personality. And I felt like that was the clothing. That is one thing that has always been intentional with this show. Do you think she ends up with somebody?
I don't think so. And I also don't think, like, at this point with 2 episodes left, there's not a lot of time to even, it would have to be somebody new, right? Because, like, none of us want it to be Aiden.
Absolutely not.
You know, I'm holding out for Burger, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Maybe Big will come out the door and be like, surprise, just kidding. I don't think so.
And I really, honestly, if they, like, just suddenly, like, bring Duncan back in out of the ether, I thought they had a really, nice kind of they came to an agreement with each other. They understood each other. But I think he left it, and they left it as like this is a professional
open
thing
and
only.
like they could hook up.
Maybe not for in the future perhaps, but I feel like in this show specifically, unless they're going to do like a huge time jump right there at the end, I don't think it would be appropriate to do that.
I would like to see Carrie on a flight to London, but because we know
going to Frasier us.
No, but we know Samantha lives there. Texting Samantha to meet up for drinks or something at the end. I think that we're seeing like finally a very mature version of Carrie. Harry and Charlotte, I think they're going to be fine. I don't think there's much to tell there. Seema and Trey from the OC, he doesn't wear deodorant. He likes crystals. I don't really know or care about that. Lisa, Charlotte's friend, I forget that they're on the show, and then when her scenes with her family is on the show, I feel like I'm watching a different show. So that leaves us with Miranda. I think Miranda having an honest conversation with Joy. She's going to be in, I guess, a stable relationship where they can watch NPR and have intelligent conversations. I mean, maybe Miranda's going to be a grandma. We don't know, because I guess we did see Steve in the last episode.
And Ratatouille Boy.
Which you are dying to get this out.
I called this out. Probably if you go back to when we talked about season 2 or season 1.
Did we talk about season 1?
He wasn't in season 2. I don't know.
He was in season 1, but like I don't know if we talked about that on the pod. I can't remember.
Okay, this kid looks exactly like the redhead from Ratatouille.
Yes.
And then in this episode, they dropped that he wants to go to culinary school. And we had to pause the episode.
I laugh. The fans manifested this.
I don't know. It's whatever.
So I'm a little irritated with his baby mama drama. I think this would have been a good opportunity, which again, the writing on the show is bad, but that didn't mean we wanted it canceled. I feel like it would have been better if they had made his baby mama like a Miranda type character.
I agree. Instead,
they make it is this what they think Gen Z is? They made it her a hairstylist that's like farting in her client's face. Like, and then Miranda,
she's not even a hairstyle. She's just the shampooer.
Like, what are we doing here? So I don't know. I'm sure they'll find a way to wrap it up in a bow. But yeah, you know what, Daniel? Just because we complain, and by we, I mean, well, you complain too, but especially me. I complained a lot.
I complained too, but I'm fine that it got canceled.
Well, I'm not fine. I wanted more because I just love these characters so much.
And we wrapped up our conversation about And Just Like That Season 3 and the series as a whole in episode 114. And just like that, football is back.
But you know what's not good?
What's that?
The legacy of And Just Like That.
Do we really have to talk about it? Can we not just let it go fizzle away like it already has?
I don't have much to say about it.
Leave it in the dustbins of media history.
And just like that, season 3, which turned out to be the final season, you will never convince me that was actually intended to be the series finale. But I mean,
you know what? That episode would be terrible if it wasn't as a
finale.
regular season
Nothing was
finale.
resolved.
Like that just was not a good way to end it. Honestly, a couple episodes ago, where Carrie's relationship with the basement guy, Duncan resolved, would have been such a better way to end the season, let alone the series.
I think that scene of her walking after she broke up with Aiden, and she's dressed nice and she's walking in to see the girls, and the shot pulls away with them out to dinner, and she's looking nice and dressed good. Like, that would have been like more satisfying. Basically what happened in this finale episode, if you will, I think is a metaphor for this entire series. It's Thanksgiving and Miranda's hosting and her toilet overflows, and there's, I think, like, poop everywhere. They showed it.
They really showed it. Like,
they really showed it
graphically for some reason.
That's basically the best description of what this series was like. I would have kept watching more because I care about these characters.
Because it's like a car accident. You can't look away. In
my brain, this is like, I'm going to use one of your favorite references from Star Trek. This is like a Kelvin universe. It's not actually connected to the proper timeline. Explain to them what the Kelvin universe is in a few minutes.
It's an alternate timeline that was created when Spock sent some evil Romulans back in time. So we need to figure out is who
J.J. Abrams has the Kelvin universe.
J.J. Abrams did it, and so we have to figure out is who sent who back in time in the Sex and the City universe, and what did they change to make And Just Like That split off from the regular timeline.
And like, I've always been the type of person that I didn't even love the movies. I think that series, you remember the series finale of Sex and the City, I think it ended perfectly. It ended with, like, I hated that the girls weren't even together at the end of this one. I think that it ended perfectly. So I'm going to say the movies are one timeline. I'm going to say the And Just Like That stuff's another timeline. And I can see, though, why Sarah Jessica Parker is supposedly word on the street shopping around to get somebody else to buy it. Because I would be mad, too, if a legacy character that I've been playing, like, at this point, the woman's probably been playing Carrie Bradshaw almost as long as Kelsey Grammer played Frasier Crane.
Yeah.
Like, close to it. I mean, I think Kelsey probably has it because Cheers was, what, the 80s?
Yeah.
So I think Kelsey has the leg up on that, but, I mean, I'm just pretending that Frasier spinoff is the Kelvin Universe. That's what I'm going to do now. From now on, Kelvin Universe. If I don't like something, that terrible Independence Day sequel, Kelvin Universe, it's not real. It's not connected.
I've wormed Star Trek into your mind in such a way that you come up with this stuff, and I don't even have to, like, incept it in there anymore.
And I just want to say, like, Daniel watched this with me because you actually, and I think a lot of men have preconceived notions. You liked Sex and the City, the series.
Yeah.
You liked the show enough that you were like, fine, I'll watch this with you. How do you feel I would consider you a fan of the original series. Are you just as annoyed as I was?
Yeah, I mean, most of the characters are shells of who they were. I felt like this season, Carrie, when she dumped Aiden, ugh, Carrie kind of got a little bit of her. I could see it. I could see who she was in the original show for those couple episodes at the end of this season. It felt like she might be back to that a little bit. And you could even explain it that she was in a funk from Big passing away, but they never took the time to try and get to that explanation. They didn't do it very well. But all the other exterior characters around it are just not the people they were in the original
Charlotte
show.
Is
a little bit, but she was reduced,
fodder.
Reduced just to comedy and all that stuff and ball jokes, at the end of it. So it's just it has no respect for what came before it. And I'm not sure what they were trying to do with this season. I certainly see why HBO canceled it, and there was no way this was the planned and intended.
No
finale.
way.
All right, everybody, that's all we got for this week. But thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you